Hello, how we doing? Welcome to the live stream. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, actually 2:06. A little late getting started today. Apologies for that. 2 o'clock here, 1 o'clock Eastern time. How's everybody doing? What would you like to talk about today? I am ill prepared today, but I'm here. I showed up, and I'll talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. I don't have any new information on dual streaming to horizontal and vertical at the same time. That didn't work last week. I'm not sure why. I haven't gotten into it yet. I've just got to figure that out. But yeah, no, it didn't look like that option was available to me today. So we are just streaming horizontally. So anyways, yeah. What do I want to talk about today? I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? I'm looking at the live chat. I will answer any questions that you have. I will be here for at least 90 minutes. We'll say that, and then we'll just kind of play it by ear, see how long you guys want me to stick around. I've put a couple of new videos out lately, which we can talk about. There's been a lot of questions in the comments. I'm trying to stay on top of the comments. I'm pretty much staying on top of the comments, but with a video out yesterday, it's pretty hard to stay totally on top. Let me just refresh this. I've got, not too bad. I've got 6 now, 6 new comments in the last 50 minutes. So I will get to those shortly. But yeah, let me go into the chat, see who all is here. I see a question right off the top from Scott, and it's a good time to answer this one because I'm just starting a live stream. So Scott asked, how you doing, Scott? Good to see you. Should I begin the countdown for a live stream at the top of the hour if that's when you've scheduled it for? Or should you start your countdown such that it hits 0 at the top of the hour? It's really up to you. It's not. There's no hard, fast rules about this. But I understand your question. I had the same questions before I went live. Like, if I schedule my live for 2 o'clock, what if I don't show up till 2:01? What if I'm ready to go at 1:59? It doesn't matter. If you set your schedule up for 2, and I've done this both ways, it means you can go. It really means nothing. All that 2 o'clock thing means is that's the time that YouTube is going to do a calculation, and when viewers see that thumbnail that says I'm going to go live, it'll have a countdown, like going live in 39 minutes or whatever, right? So that math is done based on the time that you entered that you are going to go live. Now, when you actually do go live, that is totally up to you. And I've done it both ways. To answer your question, if I say my live stream is at 2 o'clock and I know I have a 5-minute countdown, sometimes I've started it at 1:55. And then you can see a 5-minute countdown, and that reaches 0 at the top of the hour. Today, I didn't start it until 2:02 or 2:03. And then the countdown started, and my countdown I think is like 3 minutes and 20 seconds, only because I used the full song, the song that you're listening to during my. You can hear me, right? You guys can hear me? It looks like it's on. I forgot to ask, but yes, looks like the audio is all right. Yeah, so my countdown happened, even though I said I was going live at 2, it happened between 2:03 and 2:06 or 2:07, something like that. So it's really up to you. Try it both ways. Like, that's an opportunity for you to do some experimenting and see what works. Like, sometimes I think, okay, if I've scheduled it for 2 o'clock, then I think YouTube will start notifying people 30 minutes before that. So if I go live a little bit early, then I'm live. Then I might be put in front of more people. You know what I mean? So I've kind of played that game, tried it a couple different ways. I haven't noticed a huge difference in terms of how many people are waiting for me at 2 o'clock or, show up early. So, yeah, I would be hesitant to start too much earlier than you said you were going to start. But, if you want to start your countdown 5 minutes before when you said you were going to go live, I don't see a problem with that. There you go. First question answered, and it was done long-windedly, like I usually do. Out of the shadows, I'm going to make you do your first video after this. I know it. All right, Challenge accepted. Well, I guess you got to accept the challenge. Yeah, go for it. Make your first video. I dare you. Good afternoon, all about the alternative. Good to see you here. Erica, hello. Good to see you. Chris is here from Belgium, I believe. How you doing, Chris? Cincinnati, Ohio is here. Very good. Hello, Steve. Hello, Terry. I'm planning and learning OBS Studio to use more for my content and live shows. It has a lot more abilities than I was aware it had. Yeah, OBS Studio has a lot of tools in it, a lot of features. Some people have trouble with it because it's not, I'm just going to say it's not a very well packaged piece of software, but it's free. So what can you expect? And there's a ton of videos out there to teach you how to use OBS. I don't currently use it now, but I have used it in the past. And yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do with that. So yeah, and a reminder, if anybody has any questions, just enter 3 Qs in there and I will answer as many of those as I can. Just going through here, saying hi to people first. Mesmerizing Custom Models is here. Good to see you. Catherine is here in New Zealand. That's where she's from. Silver Lining Life. Really loved your recent millionaire video. Thanks for that one. No problem. You know what? It's funny. Some people ask me, what is the process I go through when figuring out what new video to make? And yesterday, I spent most of the day kind of going back and forth as to what video I should make. And I'll tell you what I was humming and hawing about. The one I ended up doing was Get Rich on YouTube, how to get rich on YouTube. Okay, a little bit of a provocative, maybe clickbaity title, if you will, but somebody actually had an interesting point of view in the comments saying that since I don't usually make those types of videos, it landed better than from somebody who makes those kinds of videos all the time. So that, I guess, A, made me feel a little bit better about making that video, and B, it just made sense to me. But anyways, that said, I didn't think I should make it at first. I think I thought of that title on a walk, and I just thought, that'd be a good title. That'll get people's attention, and then I can talk about, even though the title says Get Rich, the content might say, you can't really do that, right? I mean, that's a little bit underhanded, but you know what I mean? Like the title and the contents should be related, but oftentimes the title is a question that you answer in the title, right? Or sorry, that you answer in the video. So anyways, that was one topic, and then I thought, you know what? No, I'm not going to make that. And then I thought of, where are they? What my friends think about me doing YouTube. Okay, that's a slightly different spin on a topic I've made videos on before that have done well on my channel, and therefore I'm thinking, okay, if that brought in a lot of subscribers, there's probably a lot of people in here that would like me to expand on that. Okay, so that's part of my thought process too. I'll go back through my own video history now at this point. I've got over, I don't know how many I have now, but over 300 videos, and I can rank them or basically sort them by most popular. And I can just look, okay, what are people liking here? And you can even see how many subscribers you got from every one of your videos. So a lot of times I'll get ideas from that. If it's been 6 months since I talked about something, and the last time I talked about it, it did really well, a lot of people liked that topic, then I may do it again. You have to be careful though. Just because a video does well doesn't mean, it was the topic alone or the topic and the title. It could have been something else. It could have been the fact that I was sharing more, B-roll or graphs in the middle of the video. That might have been the thing that made that video do well. Right? So you kind of have to do a little bit of investigating there, and that's why this is a trial and error game. You try things, see if it works or not. Some are going to work, some are not going to work, and you revise and you go back to the drawing board and you try something else. All right? So anyway, that was my thought process. That was option 2, and I may still make that video soon. And then I even wrote down, I've shared this story before, what my friends think about me doing YouTube. So that was just trying to get some ideas. Okay, how should I start this one, right? And then what was the other one? How YouTube will change you. when you start over 40. So don't love that title right now, but you get the idea. That's the fact that just doing YouTube may not make you rich, may not even make you any money, depending on how you're doing it and what your plan is. But in all likelihood, if you start doing YouTube all the time and you never used to, you're going to change in certain ways. And what I wanted to talk about there is things like if I think about the way I've changed since I've been doing YouTube regularly, it's things that you might not even think about. Like, for instance, the way I watch other people's videos has completely changed. When I watch a YouTube video now, I kind of, it's not like I pick it apart. I rarely comment, but if I'm just watching a video and I will notice things like, oh, change the camera angle there. That's cool. I like the way that was done. And oh, change the camera angle and that angle, they show black and white and not color. That's cool, right? I noticed how things are framed, and I pay more attention to things like that for videos that I really like, okay, and creators that I like. So you get used to certain creators and certain people's styles, and you will get to like certain people's styles, and you notice things like, how did they do that B-roll? One of the things that I don't do a lot of, I don't put a lot of B-roll in my videos. I just think it takes an awful long time to do that, a lot of editing, and I prefer just to say what I want to say and then get it out to you guys. But sometimes when I see videos that have a lot of B-roll, I take notice of it. I said, okay, I'm wondering when they shot that. Okay, a lot of my B-roll, I flick my camera on, or my phone, I turn my recorder on, I film myself, but a lot of times I kind of film at the same time, like maybe when I'm walking to wherever I'm going to film, I'll turn the camera around and I'll film like the ocean or the trail. I'll film it like we're walking down the trail, POV, so you can kind of see where I'm going, right? And I may or may not use that. I usually don't use that, but every once in a while, if I have extra time to edit a video, I'll throw some of those shots in. But it's typically shot the same day. I rarely go back into my older videos and pick things out of there and put them in a new video, although I can. So anyways, because that's the way I do it, I take note of the way other people do it. And I'll notice, okay, they're making a video, they're talking, and now, oh, there's some B-roll of them, but they're dressed completely different, and they're in a different place altogether. So that was filmed differently. Interesting. Okay. And you know what I mean? So I look for things like that. I try to listen for sound effects, how much those are learned or used. Anyways, those are just, I'm going off on a tangent now, but those are some of the ways that I feel like, I look at videos differently now that I make videos myself. And I think doing that will help you learn perhaps how to make your own videos better. Not necessarily better, different sometimes, right? You can learn things that way. So anyway, there you go. Those are my thoughts. All right, let me see if there are other questions here. I'm sure there are. Oh yes, there's all kinds. Alrighty, We Trip a Lot has a question. I recently purchased Camtasia using your discount code. Thank you very much. Thank you. I screwed up something and now I have additional space and minutes at the beginning of my timeline. How do I remove that space? Very simply, I don't have, I'll explain it to you. It'll be a lot easier. What you do is you double, you know what? No, this is not going to be easy to explain. So let me bring up a new project here. This will just take a second. I will share my screen. There we go. Here is Camtasia. Now, let me just bring in a piece of footage. Let's see, recordings. Here we go. This one here. Okay, so this is this is my last video that I made. Okay, there, I'm wiping my eye. All right, so here we go. Here's the video. And now, you said that you have additional space and minutes at the beginning. So basically like that. Okay, so if the video, let's say, I don't know, is this where it starts? I'm about to talk there, so let's just delete that. Let's say the video starts there, but now we see that that's at 11 minutes 53 seconds in. If I want that to be at the beginning, here's the playhead. So there's a couple ways. If I just move this playhead, that's not going to do it. I could just click this. Now, this is probably not going to work for you if you have multiple things going on. But if you just had the one thing, you can just click and drag it back to the beginning. Okay. But let's say you have a bunch of other things edited in there. What you do is you double click. That brings you back. That'll automatically put the playhead at the very beginning. Okay. And then what you do is you press the Shift key. I'm holding down the Shift key. And then you click up here, click and hold, and drag. And that drags not only this, but other things as well. So let's say, I don't know, let's just do something here. Let's cut this. I'll put something up there. Right, just doing very fast video editing here. Let's put that up here, whatever. That's a little bit of video editing. I'm going to double click here and move this. So same thing. If I wanted to put some text in here, just drag some text down like that. Let's zoom all the way in and see this text. It's here. All right, double click. Hello there. Can't spell. Hello there. Double click it or triple click it. Make the size bigger. Make it bold, whatever. I'm going to put this over here, down here. I don't know, whatever. Okay, so, and let's say that's there. So I've got some editing done. All right, let's say I needed to cut something out here. I wanted to cut that section out like that. Delete. Now, there's two things I can show you. So if I wanted to close this gap here, again, you have to put the playhead right at the, you can put the playhead wherever you want. Okay, hold Shift, click here on the playhead and drag, and see everything moves. All right. So if you wanted to totally close off all of this space, you double click this. That snaps that playhead to the very beginning of that clip. So now I will press Shift, click, and drag. That takes me right back to the beginning. If I want to close this gap, double click here, Shift, click, and drag. See what it does? It closes it. All right. That's how you do it. I hope that helped. I hope that helped. Alrighty, another question. Can you talk a bit about monetizing through memberships and digital downloads? I don't think I want to do brand work. No problem. So, yeah, yesterday's video, again, we talked about, or I talked about, you listened, or you talked to if you were in the comments, talked about making money online. Basically, or making money with YouTube or with the help of YouTube. Memberships. So this kind of takes me back to what I talked about last week a little bit. I am not currently a huge fan of YouTube memberships. Let me rephrase that. It all depends on what you want to do. It depends on your business plan. You know, the thing with YouTube memberships is, number one, YouTube takes 30% of whatever it is you decide to charge people to be a member of your channel. So there's that. That's high. That's pretty high. Instead of memberships, you could do things like Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee, right? Things like that where, like, I don't know what they take, maybe 5% of a fee, something like that. It's a lot smaller. But the disadvantage is people would have to leave the YouTube platform to see you in those other platforms, Patreon, whatever. So to keep things simple and neat and tidy for your membership, that's when YouTube might be a good idea. But just know that it's going to cost you 30% of whatever you charge. So there's that. Now, when can you monetize with memberships? I believe it is 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. Okay, once you reach those thresholds, then you are able to collect money from memberships, super chats, super thanks, those things. Okay, it's like an intermediate level of monetization. It's not full monetization, which is 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. That is when you can also earn ad revenue, and that's the big one. Like by far the big one. I had something here. Yeah, no, I didn't do it the way I needed to. So yeah, so you have to think about what it is you want to offer. Okay, so with memberships, you have the ability to do things like members only live streams, members only videos, members only posts. Okay, now what I've found, I created a membership, right? And what I found is, like when I first created it, I thought, okay, I'm gonna go live on another day of the week, and I picked Wednesday, and I thought every second or third Wednesday I would do this, and I thought, okay, for $5 a month, people can can join my channel, become a member, and then they would be able to go into these channel or these members only live streams. Okay, I decided against members only videos. That just doesn't work with the way I think, I guess. Like whenever the same thing goes for like premieres of videos or making a video available, let's say a week in advance to people who are members. You can do things like that with memberships. That just doesn't work for me because as soon as I do a video, I want it up on YouTube. I want it available for everybody. I'm not good at making videos and scheduling them for later. I mean, sometimes I do that, but for the most part, I just want to get it out there. And, I guess once you get a lot of subscribers, perhaps you would think that way too. You just want a lot of eyeballs on your video because that is what can help grow your channel. So holding it back just so that members can see it first is not something that just sits well with me. Maybe it would work for you, and that's fine. And the more things you can offer people inside your membership, the more you can charge, and you can have multiple levels. But what I started to find is that, for me to do an extra live stream every couple of weeks. So I was doing, I guess, 2 a month, and they were going for like a couple hours, right? So 2 hours and 2 hours is 4 hours a month, and I think I was making, what was it, like less than $200 in revenue, which again, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just that I feel like my time can be better spent creating more things, either making more videos for YouTube or working on my website, which I have been working on it. It's getting closer, things like that. So that's my current thought process with that. And there are so many other ways you can offer memberships, like through Kajabi or through a school community, things like that, and where you can, provide even more value. So I don't know if your question, can I talk a bit about monetizing through memberships? Okay, so I guess I just did that. Now, digital downloads is something I am super excited about, and I'm a big believer in. Because somebody else asked me a question or asked if I would talk about, in the comments, like in a future video, talk about the difference between, like if you wanted to sell something, either through your YouTube channel or website or whatever, if you wanted to sell something, you have the option of selling other people's stuff or selling your own stuff, okay? Selling other people's stuff would be things like if you became an Amazon affiliate, right? And you included affiliate links, people could buy something through your link, you'd earn a commission, okay? Or, any affiliate relationship that you can get with, any other product or service, software, whatever. That's promoting somebody else's thing in exchange for a commission, okay? Another example would be merchandise. Let's say you partnered up with a t-shirt printing company, Printify or something like that, or come up with your own custom designs for t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, mugs, whatever, and then start selling those things. Well, they aren't really your products, it's your design, and you can make the difference between what it costs you and what you sell it for. You'll make the difference, right? But that margin, profit margin is what that is, the difference, can tend to be low depending on what you price it at. If you price it too high, you won't sell any because you'll be expensive. that is what it's like to sell other people's things. Then you can sell your own things. And you might be thinking, and a lot of people actually say in the comments, well, I don't have anything to sell. And I totally get that. You have to create something. If you already have a website where you sell something, well, then that's kind of easy. You've got something to sell. If you don't, that's when digital downloads might make a lot of sense. And when I say digital downloads, that encompasses a whole bunch of different things. In its simplest form, it could be like a checklist that you make, like a PDF checklist you build in Canva. Canva is a wonderful tool. I know I talk about it a lot in terms of, for making my thumbnails, but you can make a whole lot more than just thumbnails with it. You can make all kinds of print things. You can, I talked about t-shirt designs and mug designs. You can design the thing to put on t-shirts in Canva. Right? Whenever you download a PDF from somebody, there's a good chance that was created in Canva. I want to show you something here that might help out. Double click that. We'll put that there so I can see what I'm doing. And no, wrong one. That one. So, okay, here is my website. This is my Canva account. If I go, what am I looking for? This one here. Okay, so some of you may have downloaded my YouTube Kickstart kit. If you haven't and you want it, there's a link below. See what I did there? So link to my freebie. In exchange for your name and email address, you can download that. Then I've got you in my email list, which I don't currently have set up as a funnel yet, but will shortly. So anyways, I created this. It's a PDF downloaded. I created it here in Canva. Okay, and you build it the same way as thumbnails. You would size it, whatever size you want it to be. Put a background image there, add text to it. You can move it around, and then you can have different pages. Okay, page 2, page 3. So like in this case, what I would do is create a page, and once it's finished, I would copy it or create a duplicate, and then just kind of make changes and to make the next page its own page. Like this page 2 here looks a whole lot like this page, and that's because I copied and pasted it, created another copy of it, and it changed all the stuff in the middle. Okay, so this is a download that I created. This one is long-ish, 16 pages. Okay, you can create one that's 5 pages. You can create one that's 1 page. Okay, and what I often suggest people do, a good idea, if you want to start building an email list, which is a great idea if you eventually have something to offer, creating a free download for people is a great way to do that. You create a free download, and if I go to my YouTube channel and just click on one of my videos, down here in the description, right there, free download, YouTube Kickstart Kit. So if I click on that, I'm going to click on it now. There you go. This is a landing page I created in Kajabi. If you don't want to, Kajabi's not cheap. If you wanted a less expensive way to have like landing pages and email address collection, MailChimp is a good one. MailerLite is another good one. And you can start small, and then your plan could increase as your email list increases, right? So, but you can create a landing page like this inside any of those platforms, Kajabi, MailChimp, whatever, and people have to enter a name, an email, and click here, and then, and that's all this is, just a simple one-page landing page, and it's connected to this. Join Creators Cove, there's another one. If I click there, there's another landing page, right? I asked a few more things for this one. I should update that. I don't like the colors in this one. But anyways, right? That's the way that works, okay? So yeah, Canva. Use Canva to create something like that. And you can create PDF downloads. They can be checklists. They can be like a little guide, how to, whatever. Whatever it is you talk about in your videos on your channel, make a guide about that. Something that would be helpful to your audience. Like you don't want to create junk that's just for the sake of creating something, right? Just create something like give value. Give away value. Right? The more stuff you give away for free, the more trust you're building, the better relationship that you're building with your audience. Eventually, maybe even 0.1% of the people who become, get into your community or watch all your videos, maybe 0.1% will become a client down the road. And maybe they'll buy a $5 enhanced guide or a $50 mini course or a $5,000 mentorship program, right? There's so many different things you can do. But yeah, digital downloads, you own it. So if I create something in Canva, I own it. So if I want to sell it for $20, I get $20 minus whatever the fees are to be able to collect money. So for instance, if you get a PayPal account, right, and you want people to send money to your PayPal account, well, if they send you $20, you don't get all 20. Like there might be $1.50 or $2, or I'm not exactly sure what it is, 1 or 2% that PayPal would keep as the transaction fee. If you sign up for Stripe and accept credit cards, same thing. However you want to accept money, that platform that allows you to do that is going to keep something back for a transaction fee. PayPal is usually the simplest way to get started with something like that. That's pretty easy. But there you go. There's some ideas. You say you don't think you want to do brand work. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But anyways, I hope this helped. Alrighty, so I just want to see if I'm going to take a drink while I quickly scan to see if I missed any questions. Oh, Silver Lining said exactly what I needed to know about memberships and digital downloads. Cool. Glad I could help. Alrighty, let's go down here. Jennifer Ellis has said, and I know I just skipped a whole bunch. This is the most recent QQQ question. I'll be bouncing around. Hi, Rob. Quick question for you. What tricks did you use to get comfortable talking in front of the camera? Yeah, so there's all kinds of different things you could do, and it's going to be different for everybody. It's whatever makes you comfortable, quite honestly, and that's why it's different for everybody. For me, and I didn't like the way I sounded or looked the first time I did it, okay? And I made slight changes. I mean, when I first started, I was making lots of changes because I was trying too hard to be like somebody else, and that was exhausting, and it just didn't look good or right or sound good. So there's a couple things, like even right now, I was just thinking, like sometimes I would make sure I have water beside me, and take drinks of water often. If I find, like right now, I find like every once in a while, I find that I'm yelling in these live streams. I get amped up for these. It's almost like I'm on 3 cups of coffee or something, but I'm not. It's just that I get excited, and so sometimes I just have to calm down. And sometimes I'll think about that. Okay, what kind of video am I making? Should I just be talking like this, like just kind of conversational, a little more subdued, or do I talk a little more excited and move my hands around? And I've experimented with different ways. I guess best thing I can say is the more you do it, the more you'll learn about yourself and what works for you. So I found that in order to talk off the cuff about something without looking at a teleprompter or a script or reading, anything like that, the best thing that worked for me was to picture a friend. Picture that I was answering a question for a friend who just asked me something about, whatever it is that I was about to talk about. I just pictured, okay, this person just asked me a friend. Now I'm going to try to answer it like I would answer my friend. And that meant not staring at the camera. And you'll pick up little tricks like that. Like if you just stare at the camera the whole time you're talking to the camera, that just notice there, I just kind of looked away for a second there, because that's the way I normally talk when I talk to people. I will kind of look up. Every once in a while, I'll make eye contact, but most of the time I'm, whatever, as I'm talking, and then back to the eyes. because that's the way I talk to normal people. And was I able to do this with a camera when I first started? No, I wasn't. I was trying to stare at the camera, and then I would forget what I wanted to say, and then I'd have to read it again. And then, okay, no, that's not working. The only way this is going to work is if I just try to talk. And actually, I should go back and watch that over 40 video, the first one I made in July of last year, again, just to kind of watch myself and my eyes and try to see if I have changed much from then till now. That was the first time I tried it, and I'm sure it's different now. I feel more comfortable now than I did then. I can tell you that. But yeah, picture a friend. That's the best advice I can give. Picture a friend and try to talk to the camera like it is a friend. Like, I see this lens here. Every time I look at the lens, I'm picturing an eye. Okay, it's an eye. It's somebody who's listening to me and wanting to know what I have to say. So if you think about everyday conversation between two people, this is the way, this, in my experience anyways, and maybe it's different for you guys, but I feel like the person listening is doing most of the looking. Like, if you're talking to me, I'm gonna be listening to you, and you know, if you're looking at me for too long, I'll probably look away just for a second or whatever. But for the most part, the listener is doing more of the looking. Whereas the speaker is, you know, talking like this or showing something and looking up and, you know, do you understand? And right? So I think that's a natural way conversations go. And if you can try to mimic that, I think that's your best bet. You know, but again, be careful, because when you're finished and you watch it back, you're not going to like it. And it's probably not going to seem natural to you because it's you. You're looking at yourself differently now. You're looking at yourself, right, from a different vantage point. Usually you're within your own self, but now you're on the outside looking at yourself and hearing yourself, and it's all different. So you have to try to separate that awkwardness, that awkward feeling of seeing yourself in that way from, well, you know, maybe I guess that's the way I look. So, you know, everybody else is used to it, so I shouldn't be too hard on myself about it, right? So, yeah, I found that helped. You can also start with shorter videos, like just talk for 5 minutes. Make your first video 5 minutes or less, and try to make a video like that. Like, challenge yourself to give a speech about something, or maybe, actually, that sounds too formal. Answer a question and take 5 minutes to answer it. How's that? That's a good exercise. Right? Something about what it is you talk about on your channel, in your videos. Come up with a question that people may have and read it to yourself. Pretend like your best friend just asked you, and then look at the camera and says, good question. All right, how do I want to answer this? Okay, so there's this and blah, 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 right? And if you did that like every day, it would not take you very long. Like, inside a month, you would be so comfortable doing it, right? And that's a challenge some people do. They'll challenge themselves to make a video like that every single day, and then see how much more comfortable they are after, I don't know, a week, a month, however long. I think a month is probably plenty of time. After a month, you're probably ready to go, and just start making videos that way. Understand, they're not going to be perfect. They're not going to be perfect. Whenever you decide to make videos that way, and maybe even when you start the challenge, your first video, put it up on YouTube. Leave it there. Why not? You know, if it's on topic with what you want your channel to be about, you know, you'll get better in time. So I hope that helped. Okay, that made me laugh. Rats in the Tree. Do you have tips for how to look younger? My face expired back in 2018. Ouch. That was 7 years ago. No tips on how to look younger, but just don't let it bother you. Age is not something that bothers me at all. Like, it is what it is. You know, I don't look 25 anymore. That's okay. Doesn't bother me. It is what it is. And quite honestly, it doesn't even matter. I know you were joking, but I'll say this anyways. For a lot of people, it's not a joke. It's like, how can I make videos? I'm old now, right? Who's going to want to watch my videos? Everybody on YouTube is like 25, 35, right? Well, there's no place for me. Well, that's totally wrong because everybody's getting older. So, somebody who was 35 20 years ago is 55 now, right? Maybe they've been on YouTube the whole time. But more and more, there's new people coming on YouTube, new older people coming on YouTube for the first time. So there's that, plus the people who are just naturally getting older. I feel like the older generations, there's more of them getting added to YouTube than there are 20-somethings, okay? Because of that, because they're being fed by two ways. Natural aging and new people who were never on YouTube before coming online at 50, 60, 70. Right? So, just make videos for your peers, people your own age. Like, stay in your lane. Doesn't mean that's the only people who will be watching your videos. Not at all. But I had a comment today. Someone said, I'm 22 and I love your videos. Keep doing what you're doing. Awesome, thank you. That's great. Even like if I look at my stats, most people are 50 and older or 40 and older who watch my videos, but that's most people. That's not everybody. So just stay in your lane. Don't think you're talking to 20-year-olds. If you're 65, you're talking to 60 to 70-year-olds on average, probably. So that's my advice there. 1620 Garage and Farm. Have you tried TikTok or Facebook Reels, or have you only been doing YouTube so far? I have. Minimal effort though. So I've made a few shorts, YouTube shorts, and when I have made shorts, I have also uploaded those to TikTok and Instagram. And at first I was also uploading them to Facebook Reels, I guess they're called. But I haven't. I mean, Facebook and Instagram they're kind of the same. Like if you're in one of those places, you're probably in both automatically. I think. I don't know that 100%, but I don't even really care that much because that's not my focus. And my thoughts on that are, it's hard enough to learn one platform. Why stretch yourself so thin and force yourself to learn multiple platforms? So, I'm not a big believer in, you're building a business, you need to be on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and MySpace or whatever. You need to be everywhere. I don't believe that at all. You can make a very healthy business with any one of those, probably. I know YouTube, and I don't know much about the other ones, but I have, I've got a few things here. Well, to put it in perspective, I've got over 80,000 subscribers here. On Instagram, I think I have 500 or 400, something like that. TikTok, I don't even think it's 100, right? So it's not my thing, so I don't worry about it. Not too worried about it. Not to say you shouldn't be, but my advice is to get good at one platform because it's hard enough to learn one, let alone several. Just Jana says, how many subs is a good one? So how many subs is a good amount to have before you consider adding memberships? Sorry, I was just getting distracted with a whole bunch of Emma's light over the bridge, bunch of letters coming through. I don't know what's going on there. How many subs is a good amount to have before you consider adding memberships? That's very subjective. Like, I don't know. It's up to you. You have to have 500 if you're talking YouTube memberships, but that's not where I see most of the revenue coming from for most people anyways. So I wouldn't be in too much of a rush to set any of that stuff up unless your channel is already fairly well established, right? So it's not something I put a whole lot of, I don't worry about that too much. So, I mean, if you want to have it set up well in advance, you can. It's kind of the same thing as affiliate links. Like I had affiliate links set up really early, and then, it took a long time for me to make my first commission. Actually, the first time I earned a commission, Oh, how did this work now? You have a time limit. Once you become an Amazon affiliate, you have to make a certain amount of sales or commissions in the first, and I forget what it was, whether it was 6 months. I think it was 6 months. And I didn't. So I was kicked out of the program. So I had to reapply. And I did that. And I think it was the third time before I actually made enough. But then making enough was, I think I might have made $20 in a year, right? It was not much. And even now with Amazon, and I've got I think is a fairly decent sized YouTube channel. And with all the affiliate links you see underneath all my videos, I earn, what is it from, no, it's not written there. Anyway, it's around, I'm going to say it's around $100 a month is what I make from Amazon. So it's not a lot. And that would be, that's with 80,000 subscribers. So if you do that math, it might be, $1 to $5 a month if I had 1,000 subscribers. So it's not a lot. But that's not my focus. I'm not focusing on those. It's not a big part of my business plan, whereas it might be a big part of yours. Okay, and if it is, like if you have a channel where you you're promoting products, or you're doing unboxing, or you're reviewing products, stuff like that, then then you might make a lot more money than I do because I don't make those types of videos, right? If that's kind of your business plan, then or membership, you mentioned memberships. So if memberships is a big part of your business plan, then yeah, perhaps you do want to set things up earlier than later. But no matter what you do, and this is the way I look at this, no matter what your business plan is, the driving force behind any business is marketing. Like the engine that's going to bring eyeballs to whatever it is you offer. If you make videos, if you sell something through your videos, whatever. So I think the biggest and most important part of growing a business like this is growing your audience, which means, so if you're going to use YouTube to do that, like what I'm doing, then you need to focus on making better and better videos, more videos. Start making videos. Like that's... like none of this can begin until you start making videos. So do that first. Start making videos. The more videos you make, the better you'll get at making them, right? If you've picked a niche at the beginning and you're making all your videos geared towards the same target audience, well then great. Your channel probably will grow faster than had you not done that. Or maybe when you start making videos, you don't have a niche and you're just kind of a little bit all over the place making videos. Your channel's not growing probably, but you are making videos. You may want to start thinking, okay, this is all good. This is all good practice. I'm making videos. My channel might not be going in the direction that I want it to because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I didn't have a niche. That's totally fine. A lot of times it's hard to then zoom in on a niche, right? If you've already kind of been all over the place for a long time, in that case, you may want to consider starting a new channel and say, okay, that first channel of mine, that was kind of like a practice zone, right? I was just practicing. I was learning how to do things, and that's totally fine. You can always start a new channel once you know, okay, I'm fairly comfortable making videos now. I now know what I want to talk about. Let's start with a new channel. And that new channel with 1 or 2 videos could already surpass a channel that you spent a year practicing with and have 50 videos on, right? You can pass a 50 video year-old channel with a 1-week-old channel and 2 videos. You can pass it like that quickly. It can happen. It does happen. Okay, so anyways, I'm all over the place with what I'm talking about now. Somebody just said, how come you do not have moderators on this live? Am I missing something? Should I have? Can you guys moderate yourselves? Be nice, everybody, be nice. or I might have to get a moderator on you. He does have them. Yeah, I do. 1 or 2, but actually I haven't seen them in a while, so I may have to put some feelers out there for some new moderators. We all behave, Catherine says. Yes, you do. Well, actually, Catherine, you're going to be here for a while? I'll make you a moderator. Anybody want to be a moderator? I'll make you one right now. I just mentioned it to Catherine. YouTube over 40, you're here too. Karen, If you want to be a moderator, let me know. I'll right-click you and make you a moderator right now. Catherine says, I'll be here. All right, if I click. Oh, it's moving too fast. Click. Add as a moderator. Standard moderator, save. All right, Catherine, I think you are a moderator. Maybe you have to accept it. I don't know. See that? DG Outdoor Channel. Here, let's make you one too. Add as a moderator. Standard moderator. Save. DG Outdoors Channel and Catherine Price should now be moderators. All right, we got two. There you go. And notice Catherine's name is now blue with a wrench. That means she's a moderator. So now you can tell who's a moderator. Oh, I'm blue. Yes, you are. Jason says, I'm working, but if you need a third, let me know. I think this is the first time I've ever had two, although Daniel hasn't replied since. Oh, Karen says, one person's child jumped on and hit a few keys, but that was deleted, so false alarm. All right, no worries. Actually, I saw that. All the keys, and it's like, but I recognized the avatar as somebody who's here quite often, so I wasn't too worried about it. All right, sweet, thanks. Okay, Daniel's now moderator too. There we go. Oh, Catherine said it came up with a notification I had to click. I should be, well, actually, this is being recorded. Let's, maybe I make a video out of this. How to create moderators on the fly. We've just done it. And yeah, so just so you guys know what moderators can do, let's just bring this up. Just so you guys know what's up, I'm going to share my screen. Let's just ask ChatGPT, what can a standard moderator do in a YouTube live chat? Let's find out. So my choices were a standard moderator or a managing moderator, and I forget what it said. Managing, there were a few more permissions. But here, according to YouTube, they can go to the chat participants channel from a message, which lets them check the user's history activities. They can remove messages, so that's the important one. So moderators can remove messages, delete inappropriate or offensive messages from the live chat. You can put a user in timeout, which temporarily prevents someone from sending messages in the live chat. Ranges from 10 seconds to up to 24 hours. Interesting. You can hide a user from the channel. So this means the user's messages and comments won't show up to other viewers, and the user doesn't necessarily get notified. So yeah, just a note to you new moderators out there, maybe don't use that one, because I myself don't use the hide function. Even if somebody leaves a comment that I don't want on the channel, I'll always just delete it. I don't hide them. And the main reason is to unhide somebody would be a huge undertaking. Somebody who's hidden, if they then reached out to me and I got an email from somebody who says, you've hidden me from your channel, obviously, because I don't see any of my comments, or actually, no, they would see them, but other people wouldn't. Can you unhide me? And I would be hesitant to, because there's probably a reason I hid them in the first place, but how am I going to find out what that reason was? YouTube doesn't log that anywhere. So I would have to, theoretically, go through all of my 300 videos, all of my 115 live streams that I've done, on average 2 hours long each, and look for the username. But actually, I would have to unhide them first so their usernames popped up, and try to identify what it is that I didn't like, so that I can delete it and leave. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of work. So there you go. All right. What else can they do? Hide a user. Yep. You can review messages held for review. Okay. I actually don't hold messages for review. I just let them all in and I delete what I don't like. What a standard moderator cannot do, You cannot turn off the live chat entirely. Well, that's good. I wouldn't want you guys to do that. You cannot change participation mode. Subscriber only chat. Okay, yeah. You cannot change slow mode settings. Message delay. Okay, I don't have a delay on. You cannot manage other moderators. Okay, so that's all good. Cool. There you go. We have moderation. Catherine says, sure, Rob, got it. No hiding. Thank you, Catherine. All right, great point, Rosanny. YouTube over 40 said. What did Rosanny said? Hit that thumbs up, y'all. All right, yeah, hit that thumbs up if you like it. Hey, we've got no thumbs down yet. I wonder if we're going to get one now that I mentioned it. Jason says, hey, Rob, I hit 1,400 subs today. Way to go, Jason. That's awesome. Congrats. How many videos are you making now? How many videos, at what frequency? 1 a week? 2 a week? Oh, of course, here it came. Just got a thumbs down. Thank you for whoever did that. Andy has a question. What would you say was the main reason your views and subscribers started increasing? I'm trying to think of why because I'm trying to remember where I said that, because I did say that recently. I think it was in the comments section, or maybe it was in one of my recent videos. Sorry, I'm also reading the chat at the same time. Sorry, I will focus on your question. So my views and subscribers started to increase. Okay, so excuse me, I believe what you're talking about is not necessarily lately. Like, I actually noticed in September, my views and new subscribers per day numbers went down. So the numbers were down. October so far, they've come back up. At first, I thought you meant that, but I think what you're talking about is overall my channel back when things started to pick up. And it was my videos. You know, I kept showing up making new videos. Things really started to change for me when I became very intentional about making 3 videos a week and doing 1 live stream every week. Before that, I was kind of hit and miss. I'd wait a couple months, post a video, wait another month, do a live stream per week for like 3 weeks, but then I'd stop for a couple months. I was very hit and miss. But then from the time I started, you know what? No, 3 videos a week, because I got pretty good at making them quickly, so I could do that. I know it sounds like a lot. Maybe for you it's 2 a week or 1 a week, whatever. And live streams, though, I think was a big part of, you know, why I started to grow. And that's what did it. And then over the course of doing that for 3 to 4 months, everything started to go up. And I became monetized. And yeah, that was the main driver. Just went ahead with a plan, and I was consistent about it. Kept showing up. So that was it. I need to recognize Heath. Thank you so much, sir. There's your super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Let me pop it up on the screen here if I can find it. There we go, right here. There we go. Hey, 48 years young, very new to YouTube, 75 subs. Is there a best time to upload? Great question. The answer is yes and no. The only reason the answer would be yes is there could be a best time for you to upload. But more often than not, my thinking on that has changed over time. I used to try to upload my videos at 8 a.m. and then 8 to 10, and then it was 10 to noon. And like yesterday's was 6:15 p.m., like supper time, dinner time, that I uploaded. And it's actually a number 1 out of 10. It's 1 out of 10, my last video, yesterday's. So, you know, just when you think you have the answer to that, you don't. What I have noticed, though, is on my channel as a whole, and also if I release videos on the weekends, they don't do as well for me. Maybe it's because of the audience that I now have. The people who watch my videos typically aren't on YouTube as much on the weekends. That could be it. So many different things could be at play here. But what I will say is, I think it's a good idea to have somewhat of a regular schedule. That's what the whole consistency talks about. If you have somewhat of a consistent schedule, and if you're a little early or a little late or a day late or a day early on a video, no big deal, I don't think. But for the most part, like whatever time and day you pick to release your videos will naturally become the best time and day to post your videos based on the viewers you get from them. Okay? Same thing with picking a time to go live, right? I spent a lot of, before I did my live streams, I spent a lot of time thinking, what's the best time to go live? Because you're talking about the globe, right? So if I go live here in Nova Scotia, Canada at noon, well, that means it might be 1 a.m. in Australia or New Zealand, right? So that's probably not going to work for most people. So, but you can't pick a time that'll work for everybody. So the best thing to do is to pick a time that definitely works for you. That's number one. And then number two, naturally over time, if you go live at the same time, or if you post a video always at the same time or same day every week, the people who see it and it works for them. If it worked for them one week, it'll probably work for them the next week. You know what I mean? Or if it worked for them at 10 a.m., it'll probably work for them at 10 a.m. the next time. So you will naturally grow your channel the way you should if you just stay consistent, whatever that day and time is. But don't feel like that'll lock you into that. You can always try new things as you go. Vangirl Cheryl, thank you so much for your super chat. Or your super thanks. I really appreciate that. The rainbow. Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, so what else? What else is up? What else should I be talking about here? What other questions do we have? We've got a lot of questions. I'm missing a lot. Oh, wait, now let me put it in the queues. Q. That makes the list a lot smaller, but still bigger. Jason has a question. Food for thought. Your number of subs in people now would not fit in the largest NFL stadium. You're right. I actually do think of that sometimes, and you guys should too. Like, if you have 500 subscribers, you might think, oh, that's not very many, but try to picture 500 people in your living room, right? Probably wouldn't fit unless you have a huge house, right? Like, that's a lot of people. Picture yourself in front of 500 people, or myself, 80,000 people. Like, that is mortifying to me. But it's cool to think of it that way. But maybe not if that scares you or intimidates you. I think it's kind of cool. I'm not good at speaking in front of large crowds, or maybe I'd try it now. Maybe I'm better at it now. But historically, I've never liked that. I've never been good at that. So the thought of that is scary to me, or was. But the more you do this, maybe it's different now. I don't know. But what I will say is, if that does freak you out a little bit, like 80,000 people, oh my God, like when I make a video, there's 80,000 people watching me. The best way to think about it is, no matter how many subscribers you have, when you make a video, just talk to one person. And I know I've said this a lot before, and I actually haven't talked about this in a video lately, so maybe that's something else I should make a video about again soon. But like, I'm not, and I do say it sometimes, but I don't love saying, hey guys, how you doing? Like, it's a little different here because this is a live stream, and you guys, guys and gals, you're all here listening to me and watching me at the same time. So this is a little bit more like, okay, there's 153 people in this room, and it kind of is like that for me, because you're all hearing me. I think there might be a 10-second or 5-second delay, but still pretty much live. But when you're making a video, you're only ever talking to one person at a time. And I'm not just saying that to try to make you feel better. It is actually true. Like, once you've made the video and you've uploaded it onto YouTube and it's there and it's now public, people are going to click on it to watch it. But no two people, I mean, I guess if the numbers are large enough, I suppose it could be close. But for argument's sake, no two people are clicking to watch you at the same time. Everybody has a different start time. So somebody might start it now. 2 seconds later, somebody else is watching you now. But it's a one-on-one thing. They are watching you one-on-one. Everybody is watching you one-on-one. So then why not make your videos looking at the camera, talking to one person, right? And try to use words like, how are you doing today? What's new in your world? Like, instead of saying, hey guys, how are we all doing? Or how are you doing? I guess, how are you doing? That's ambiguous, but yeah, hey guys, you could drop that. And I've tried to, I still say it quite often, but it's practice what I preach, right? I should not say, hey guys, but just talk to one person, because the benefit of talking that way just to one person, it could make you feel more at ease, but it can also make the viewer feel more special, right? As they should. Like, I'm talking to you, and I'm looking at you right in the eyes. That might be a little freaky, but you know what I mean? The person on the other end of the camera, the viewer, may sense that. They will sense that the person is being more personable, helps build the connection, right? So anyway, that's the way I like to think about it. And I think that helps. It helped me. Maybe it'll help you too. DG Outdoors Channel, Super Chat. Thank you, Daniel. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the support. And your question is, your live streams have helped me so much. You helped me start my own live stream. I remember that, actually. Out in the woods, I think. You're a hunter, I believe. And I've made so many new friends and hit 3,000 subs. Thank you very much. That's awesome, Daniel. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I love to hear stuff like that. I want to say that's only been a couple of months, right? How long did it take you to hit 3,000 subs once you started going, relatively consistently posting videos? All right. New Zealand time, Saturday, 11 a.m., 6 p.m. Friday nights. Oh, I think that's when you go live. That's right. You're probably answering somebody else. See, that's what happens when I jump into other people's conversations here. That's right. I got the cues gone. Let's go back to the 3 cues, see what other questions we have. Okay. Catherine has a question. Now that I've changed to homestead vlog style content, I'm thinking of changing my channel name. I'd love your thoughts. Thanks, Rob. So your channel name, homestead vlog style. If it's a vlog style and you are, you are the talent, you are the main character in your videos, personally, I like using your name. Doesn't have to be your first and last name, but at least your first. It could be Catherine the Homesteader. That's a lot like Rob the Maritimer, right? That's kind of, but it's really up to you. It's not going to affect the performance of your videos at all. Okay? It's only, your channel name is only, a way for people to remember who you are or to know who you are. So, it'd be good if it's something easy to spell. If somebody wants to search for you that way, it would be good if, if it's a fun play on words or something, that's kind of cool. But I'm a big believer in putting your first name in your channel name, just because it's a way for people to remember who you are and what your name is, right? A lot of people don't introduce themselves in their videos, or they'll forget, or they'll wait till the end like I often do. And if somebody is watching my video for the first time and they want to, let's say they want to write a comment, and let's say they want to put my first name in there, like address me by name in the comment, they forget what my name is. Well, in my case, if they look at if they're going to make a comment on this video here, right, go down to the comments. Oh, there's my name right there. Oh, it's Rob. Okay, yeah. Hey, Rob, loved the video, whatever. right? So that's the main reason why I like the first name in there. If your channel is, you know, featuring you, okay? Doesn't mean you have to, and lots of people don't put their names in their channel names, but a lot of people do. It does not affect the performance of your videos, though. So if that is what you are worried about, you don't have to worry about that. Hacks Are Bite says, have you ever considered streaming to Twitch and or Kick? Not really. I think I did try Twitch like 5 years ago when my son, when I was learning all this YouTube and streaming stuff from my son. But it's not, that's more of a gaming thing. Again, I'll kind of fall back on, if you want to grow something online, if you want to grow an audience, a following, a business, whatever, I think you're better off focusing on one platform and just getting really good at that. And in my case, it's YouTube. So I don't think, if I also streamed to Twitch, I don't know that I would get a whole lot more eyeballs. Maybe I would, but it's not something I think my time is better spent making more videos or working on my website or the back-end business or making more course videos, things like that. But good question. Vicky says, can you speak about using a different email for your channel to protect personal data and privacy? Yeah, so my thoughts there are, so I use my personal email address to log in to my YouTube, but the email address I put on my YouTube channel for other people to message me is not that. It's an email address I created for my business, workwith@robthemaritimer.com. So if you click my About page, that's what you'll see. When I say About page, if you go to my channel like this, is it here? Yeah, here, more info, view email address. There it is right there. Okay, so my suggestion would be to not have the email address you use to log into your Google or YouTube account. Don't have that listed here. Okay, only because you're just making it that much easier for somebody to potentially hack into your account. Turn on two-factor authentication and then it becomes pretty much impossible. Yeah, that's just a safety thing. That's what I do, and that's what I would suggest you guys do too. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Plus, if you ever end up getting a whole bunch of spam to your email address that you share with the YouTube world, you could potentially get rid of that email address and create another one without it affecting your personal email address. Alrighty. Nima says, as a non-native English speaker from Asia, do you think my name sounds easy for English speakers to pronounce or remember? Nima Zabihi. Nima Zabihi. So for me, welcome, Neil, new channel member. Welcome. Yeah, for me, Nima is pretty easy to pronounce. I don't have a problem with that. Now, it could be different for everybody. That's me. I am a native English speaker from Canada. Zabihi, I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. I feel like I am. I don't know how else that could be said. But yeah, I think that's totally fine. And again, though, you don't have to have first and last names in your channel name. I typically, I just put my first name in there. So if you feel like your last name is harder to pronounce, then just go with your first name. First name, Nima the YouTuber, or whatever it is your videos are about. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that too much. But Nima, I think that's totally fine. I don't find that hard to pronounce at all. All About the Alternative has a question. Create a course. YouTube Studio, are they monetized? Also says it has to be for all ages. Keeps in kind of limited if your topic isn't for kids, which would imply it wouldn't be monetized, right? I don't follow. I don't understand your question. In the Create a Course in YouTube Studio. Okay, so that's not something I've looked at. the courses I create myself, and I host them myself. I think if I go to YouTube Studio, I don't even know where that is. Create a course. That's something that's going to have to be something I look into, because I've not looked into that yet. Take a quick drink. Have fun in nature. Hello from Montana. Hello back from Nova Scotia. Oh, under create. In YouTube Studio, create. Oh, up there. Okay, create. New course. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, no, I have not done that. I see it here. So what's your question? In the Create a Course YouTube, are they monetized? Your courses? I don't know. I don't know if they are or not. It says it has to be for all ages, keeps it kind of limited if your topic isn't for kids, which would imply it wouldn't be monetized, right? You're losing me there. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say. Are you trying to make something for kids? It says it has to be for all ages. Yeah, I'm not. I'm going to have to default back to I don't know, because I haven't really looked into that yet. Yeah, so might have to do some more digging there. Sorry about that. Let's see. DK Bolajat, once you create a countdown timer video, how to do preset that on YouTube Live. Okay, so for what I've done is I've created a scene in Ecamm Live, and in that scene, whenever I go to that scene, the countdown timer restarts. Okay, so for example, I'll just do it really quickly right now so you can see it. I'm going to press my intro button that I have on my Stream Deck. So watch what happens when I do that. And then I came back and I just pressed my main button after that. So yeah, the countdown restarted. It switched to my iPhone camera, this one up here, and that music is part of that scene, and the countdown timer is part of that scene. So yeah, and then it just becomes, it's push of a button. I can either push it on my Stream Deck, or in Ecamm, if I didn't have a Stream Deck, I could just select that scene. All right, so but on YouTube Live, I've not done that with YouTube Live, but that is actually a good question for my live streaming people. YouTube Live countdown timer. Cool. I've made a note. I'll figure that out. But for now, I want to thank, here, let me find it here. A little slow on the draw. There we go. Super Chat. Thank you so much for the Super Chat. I really appreciate that. And you have a question. I have 2,500 subscribers, but I get 10 to 100 hits only. What do I do to get more? That's a really hard question. That's not, I mean, that's going to be different for everybody. There's all kinds of different things you can try to get more views on your videos. Number one is make sure all your videos are within the same niche, right? Like if you have 2,500 subscribers, I would dig into your analytics and find out where you got those subscribers from. What videos did they watch that made them decide to subscribe? And once you know that, then maybe you can then know, okay, so it was this video or it was these 5 videos. What am I talking about? All right, let's make another video that those people would be interested in. Okay, so there's that at that level, but then there's the, at the video level, what can you do? I mean, the bottom line is you just want people to watch your videos for longer. Okay, even if you make a video that's targeted to the right people, if the video has a poor intro and the content of your video is not engaging, people just aren't interested in the topic, there's not going to be much you can do. So you have to make videos that people want to watch. That is the bottom line. You have to make videos that people want to watch. What makes a video that people want to watch? Well, it could be a video that is very clever. It could be a video that has a topic that everyone wants to, hear about. You can give a really good intro with, that keeps people engaged for longer. The content that you're talking about, you could be, you're not just talking for the sake of talking, and you actually have a point you're making as you talk in your video. All these things, right? It's got to be something people want to watch. If people want to watch it, you'll know, because you will get some impressions in the beginning. There may not be many, but let's say you get 10 to 100 impressions. If those 100 people are only watching your video for 10 seconds and then they decide they don't want to watch anymore, or they're gone, YouTube is going to take that as a signal that it's not a good video. Even if it is a really good video, like from a production standpoint, if people aren't watching it, technically it's not a good video. You could have a very poor production video that gets tons of views because people are watching it. If people are watching it and watching it for a long time, YouTube notices that and they're like, yes, here's a video we can sell more ads on, right? More ads are going to play because people are watching this video for 10 minutes on average. Yeah, we want to get more people watching that. Who else do we think will want to watch this? And they'll put it out in front of more people. So that's what it comes down to. There's no magic formula other than that. And, that's why I say you just have to keep making videos. And the more you make videos, the better you'll get at making them. Don't just make videos for the sake of making videos and then sit back and hope the views come in. You actually have to study each one of your videos that you've uploaded and try to figure out, why is it doing so well, or why is it not doing so well? And then make changes on the next, in the making of your next video. Whatever you learned in the last video, make those changes on the next video in the hopes that, you can do better next time, right? That's the game. That's the YouTube game. It's constantly revising the way you make videos, the way you talk on camera, everything, the way you frame your shots, the types of videos you make. Maybe you make a lot of videos sitting at your desk. Well, get outside and make a video where you're walking and just talk to the camera. Make a video like that if you've not made one like that before. But still, keep your audience in mind. The people are there watching you for a reason. So try to keep that in mind and expand on that. If they like that, then what else might they want to hear from me? Okay, so I hope that helps. There's no way for me to answer and tell you specifically what can you do because, it's different for everybody. You have to put your sleuth hat on and try to figure out why people aren't watching or why people are watching and make adjustments. Alrighty, what else we got here? How are we doing for time? We've been at this an hour and a half already? That's crazy to me. Jason has a question, and that kind of stems from the last one. What is your tips for getting viewers to watch more of the video and stop them from dropping off? So you can get into your retention graph and identify where they're dropping off. That's a start. And if you notice a lot of people are dropping off early on, then okay, it's your intro. You have to change it, make it different, make it faster. People's attention spans aren't very long these days. People have short attention spans. And that's why more and more people, especially the younger, I think, don't tend to watch a lot of longer videos, or they don't watch videos for long, and they prefer the short stuff like Reels and Shorts and TikToks. Us older folks, myself included, don't have a problem with longer videos. I prefer longer videos, but it's got to be interesting. The best way to answer your question, Jason, is to try to put yourself in your viewer's shoes. Okay? Why would someone want to click on your thumbnail and your title? You've got a title and a thumbnail. Why is someone going to want to click? Understand that everybody is busy. So, like, I don't have the time to watch all the videos from every channel I've subscribed to. I just don't physically have the time. It's impossible. I see a lot of thumbnails, and some I make time to watch. Some I'm curious but don't have time to watch at all. So there could be some of that. So you have to think that way. Like, why would someone want to watch your video? Try to answer that first, and then if you think that way, then perhaps you can start making videos in a way that people will want to continue to watch. So, but another way to answer your question would be, there are little tricks to do. Like if you're making a video, like you're starting to watch it through, and then like this is what I do sometimes. I'll start to watch my video through and I'll think, you know what I'm talking about right now, there's a lot of numbers flying around. I might start to lose people here if I don't put those numbers on screen. And in fact, the video I put out yesterday, I was afraid that it was 6 o'clock and I wanted to get the video out. And I subscribed to the thinking that done is better than perfect, so I posted it the way it was. I think that video would have been better when I was talking about the dollars, how much money you earn per month and all this stuff, and I was doing some math kind of in my head. It probably would have been better if I put that math on screen as I was saying these numbers, and then put the multiply sign, draw a line, another text. That's all editing. That's all video editing, and it takes time. And for some people, it takes a lot of time, myself included. So in the interest of time and just getting it posted because I thought it was a good video, yeah, could it be better? Always. It could always be better. But you got to draw the line somewhere. So I posted it. And it's doing okay. It's doing well. Now, in another day, I'll get the retention graph and I'll be able to see if I could have made it better. And if you have the time. So anyway, I guess my point is, if you watch your video through like that, the way I do, as you're editing it, do a final pass through. If there's at any point where you realize, I could start to be losing people here. I'm getting a little bit boring here. Or I'm talking about too many things here. Maybe I should put, just boom, one big word on the screen as you say it, like an emphasizing word or something. Or you could insert B-roll at those points. Like, B-roll shouldn't be something you insert into a video just because you think it's cool to put B-roll. And you probably know this, Jason, but as a photographer, think of B-roll as something to keep people's attention at a point where or when you think you may start losing people. If you think you're getting just a little bit too boring, well then hit them with some B-roll. Change the scene. Make it look different, right? And B-roll is a way to do that. Whether it's something you recorded yourself or it's, stock footage that you download from Storyblocks or something, whatever, that can help. So adding B-roll, adding text on screen, showing your work sometimes, and more editing. Those kinds of things can help carry the story. I feel like I'm a little bit lucky in that the way I've been making my videos does not require a whole lot of editing on my part. So I count myself lucky there. A lot of people have told me, I love these just, you're just talking. I just want to listen to you. I want to hear what you have to say. I like the speed at which you talk. All these things, which will naturally happen to you as you grow your channel. The people who subscribe to you are going to be the people who like the way you talk, right? And so that's working for me. The fact that I'm not, had I grown my channel by doing a whole lot of editing, heavy editing every time that took me a week to do, well, then I would have kind of locked myself into always having to make videos that way, right? So I feel like I'm lucky that I did not do that. And instead, I made videos that do not require a lot of editing. And it's just me talking. And oh, by the way, now that's the way people like me to make videos. Awesome. Win-win. So does that help, Jason? So I gave you some ideas as to what you can do to keep people from dropping off. Your content's got to be fast hitting. Throw some titles up there if you think it helps carry the story forward. That might help as well. All right, so I hope that helps. I'm going to recognize, let me get the cues off here. We've got a super chat. What happened? Oh, there we go. I have to press the button. Pompano Beach Vibes, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate you. And you say, from Pompano Beach, listen to Rob the Sage. Find your niche, make it uniquely you. PVB shows the positive vibes. Pompano Beach Vibes of my city, and have gone from 0 to 83 subs in the initial 7 months with 45 videos posted, hundreds of views. Awesome. Way to go. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I saw another question. Where did that go? I saw another. There was one specific that kind of caught my eye. I know there's lots here, but here it was. Anaholics. How you doing, Anaholics? Good to see you again. It says, I know you use an expensive platform for selling courses and other business-related things, Kajabi, that's right. Are there cheaper alternatives that you can recommend? So I'm not as well versed in any direct competitors to Kajabi, because when I found Kajabi, for me, it was like, wow, this is going to replace like 6 other things that I would otherwise have to subscribe to. Okay, it's just one thing instead. But yeah, you don't have, if you did not want to use Kajabi, if I was starting over, okay, and I was not going to start off by investing in something as expensive as that, that's like $200, starting at $200 US per month, okay? It's my website host, it's my payment processor, it's my course hosting platform, it's my community, Creators Cove hosting platform, my website, my landing pages, my email list gatherer, my funnel system setup, automation, all of that is included. So, but you can start with just an email list. Okay, you don't need a website. If you want to sell stuff and use your YouTube channel, all you really need is a payment processor and a landing page. You can do a landing page through MailChimp. So I would start with either MailChimp or MailerLite, 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 which I believe you can start for free. Both of those allow you to create landing pages, I believe. So that and a payment processor. You can start with PayPal. Or if you want to accept credit cards, you can sign up for Stripe. Now that's here in North America. I believe you're in Europe. PayPal is, I believe, global. Stripe, I'm not sure, but I'm sure there's a credit card processor there. If not Stripe, then something else that you could use. Now, but then if you want to get into selling courses, so the selling part of it, your payment processor that you sign up with, so PayPal, Stripe, whatever, you'd have to use that to actually collect money from people. Where to host a course, if you make a video-based course, then you could sign up with either Teachable or Thinkific. Those are two that I'm aware of. So that's the course side of it. The funnels and the email system, well, the email system, you can do that through MailChimp. If you want something a little more robust that handles funnels as well and automation, then kit.com is one. Used to be called ConvertKit. There's other ones, ActiveCampaign. I think Constant Contact is one, or iContact. So there's several of those. What else? Your website. If you want a website, then you would need a hosting provider. So Bluehost, HostGator, SiteGround, something like that, to host your website. What am I missing? Zoom. So for any of you who are in my Live Streaming Made Easy program, the course, we are having our October get together, the group check-in call basically, on Thursday. And I'm going to run this one through Kajabi. it works like Zoom. So it's basically like a big Zoom meeting that everybody can click into, and we're all there in one big room, and I'm the host, and people can ask questions and so on. So I can do that through Kajabi. But if I didn't have Kajabi, then I could use Zoom. Just use Zoom. For the scheduling, you can sign up for Calendly, which I also do. I don't love Kajabi's scheduling system, so I did sign up for Calendly, and I use that. The other thing is Community, Creators Cove. I've got that in Kajabi. If I didn't have Kajabi, then I could sign up for School, right? The School platform, Skool. So yeah, you can a direct competitor to Kajabi, I'm not familiar with, something that does everything. ConvertKit or Kit might come close. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it. But you could piecemeal it all together. So hopefully that helps. I got about 10 minutes left, if that's all right with you guys. It's gonna cut it short. Not gonna be 2 hours today. I hope you're okay with that. And next week will be the next after party. So there is no members after party after this one. We had one last week. So next week after this regular live stream, I'll do one for the members called the after party, which I still have. Yeah, that. Got a couple of overlays. But yeah, that's not today. So I'll get that off there. All right. Can you check question about LED panels? All right. Was it your? I'll search for your name. Let's see. Here it is, right here. Which Neewer 18-inch LED light panels do you have? There are two roughly the same models. Mine was a 2-pack. You know what? 1 second. I'm going to look at the back of it. See what it says. NL288A. NL288A is what's written on. Yeah, ARC. That's right. NL288. That's what I have. I've got 4 of them. 2 of them I bought singularly when I thought I only wanted 1 more, but the first 2 I got was a package of 2 that came with the stands. But yeah, that's what I use. Actually, if I grab my phone. Say hi to Peanut. There they are right there. That one and that one. And if we come back here, right there, look at the dust. So that's what those are. And I got 2 more over there. That one there and that one there, just to help with light when I make a video there in the chair. Just put that. I've got the wrong one on there. So anyway, there you go. That's what I use. The Dirt Princess says, I like the window open, by the way, especially for winter. Oh, very good. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted it. I thought, you know what? It's usually pretty dark in this room. Maybe I open up the window. Alrighty. Pompano Beach Vibes. I utilize 4K 30 frames per second and now have stated 4K 60 and still using iPhone 11. Very good. Mine are all 4K 30, all my videos. All right, let me go back to the questions. All right. Carolyn had a question. I'm making a commitment to myself to get started at the beginning of the year. If I start earlier, awesome. Does it make sense for me to join Creators Cove now, or should I wait till I start? You can join any time. Creators Cove is totally free. There's a link in the description below. You can sign up for that. And yeah, you can ask questions in there. There's other people that are answering and chatting and stuff like that. So yeah, you can join anytime. If you want to hit the ground running with a channel, you want to start at the first of the year, that's kind of the way I used to. It's kind of the way I thought when I started. I did start at the beginning of the year, and then at the end of January I stopped until I think October of the next year. I made one video, and then I thought, okay, no, I'm going to start again January 1st. And then I was a little bit later than that. Anyways, in the end, it doesn't matter. But no, it's good to have a goal like that, to start like that. But if you want to hit the ground running, then I would get some things in motion before then. Creators Cove might be one. Practicing talking on camera might be something else you do, like between now and then. Things like that. So, but and then just, when you start, you start. Don't feel like you need to have everything set up and ready to go to upload your first video. You do not need to have channel art, like a channel banner. You don't need to have that set up. The proper about description for your page. You don't even have to worry about that. Like, people don't find you through your channel homepage. They find you through your videos. So just start by uploading a video. And then most people who watch that video, that's as far as it goes. And that gets you in the groove, gets you used to creating. So yeah, that's my only point. Don't worry about having everything set up perfectly before you post your first video. Start posting videos and then start building the back end. Look at me. I'm still trying to get my website set up. And it's been like over a year since I wanted to have it set up. But I'm not quite there. Not quite there. Working on it. Oh, Ops and Giggles. I just had an advertisement put on my newest upload from a couple days ago from YouTube, and I'm not monetized. I was wondering, is that normal? Is that a good sign? I don't know. I mean, yes, it's normal. It's normal. I mean, YouTube has the right to put ads on whatever videos they want. And the people who see those ads are the people that don't pay YouTube for YouTube Premium. Okay? So if you're not monetized, yeah, they can. You've got no way to turn them off if you're not monetized. If you are monetized, you could decide to not monetize a video. And in most cases, you won't have videos or ads show up on those videos. But no, if you are, I mean, is that a good sign? I don't know. I suppose maybe. Does that mean YouTube thinks people want to watch that video, so let's put some ads on it? I suppose there could be some truth to that. It's not something I would even worry about, though. I wouldn't even give it another thought. Just think, oh yeah, cool. They're making money off this video. I would probably tell myself, good, must be a decent video. I must be on the right track. Let's just keep going. That's the way I would look at that. All right. Did you by chance see my question from earlier? Probably not. Let me type in obsessed. Here we go. Some of us started YouTube as a project and now don't know how to create a business. Never thought I would get this far. Advice to making a business from a hobby, not mentoring like yourself. Yeah, you're going to have to do some searching there. So how do I answer this? Think about your audience and think about how you can help them. Okay, that's where it comes down to. From there, you can then think about what, how can you help them? Then how can you productize that help? Maybe if you create a free guide, or no, not free, I mean free guide to get leads coming in, but then create a more robust guide for something like car audio. So maybe a car audio buying guide, 2026, right? Maybe that's something you do every year. Maybe you have, you could do a behind the scenes video. So not mentoring. You don't want to do mentoring. So a course, right? You can create a video course if you want, or, maybe do some research into other channels like the one you are creating and see what they're doing. That's usually a good place to start. See what they're doing, see how they're turning their channels into a business. What do they offer? Like, look in their descriptions, click on their links, and see what they're doing, right? You could probably do something similar. That's the way I would look at that. I hope that helps. Alrighty, what else we have? I thought I saw a question here that, where'd it go though? Have a lot going on right now, so I've stopped pressuring myself. Good. Yep. Pressure's not good. There we go. Okay, I answered that one. My most watched video has the lowest production quality iPhone 11 front camera, but it was authentic and shared personal viewpoints that people connected with. There you go. Yeah, your videos don't have to look perfect. Absolutely not. If the message is good, if people want to hear what you have to say, the quality almost doesn't matter. What are you using to record your outdoor videos? I remember you mentioning an iPhone, but is it front camera? No, I use the back camera. So this is what I use right here. This camera with this selfie stick tripod. There's a link to this in my description below. But I use that. So I turn this like this, make sure it's tight enough, and I talk like this. I usually extend it a little bit. So I talk to my camera like this. So the next question is, well, yeah, the reason I don't use the selfie camera is because it's not as good. It's not as good. Just like a little pinhole of a lens, where here you've got these big lenses, right? I just use the 1x lens, and I eyeball it, right? So you can get an idea as to whether you're holding it level or not, okay? Oh, why'd that disappear? Let me reload that page. Yeah, I mean, you can practice it, but the common question I get when I tell people that I use the rear camera, people will say, how do you know you're in frame? The proper answer is, I don't know. I'm confident that I'm close, and that's all that matters. Because people are, again, they don't care if I'm perfectly in frame or not, because they're mostly listening to me and not necessarily watching me. So it doesn't matter if I'm perfectly in frame. And in fact, if you watch my, like if I go back and look at my videos, go here, so this video here, okay, if I just look at my framing there, I'm too low, right? My eyes are pretty much right in the middle, okay, whereas they probably should be up here. Can you see that? Like where my glasses are is probably where my eyes should be. There shouldn't be that much space above my head if we're talking about perfectly framing, right? So that's too low. So I got it a little bit wrong.
On YouTube is not,
but if we scroll through it, you can see that it's moving around. I mean, it was pretty much the same there. If I go back and just, here, this video here, that I'm framed a little bit better. So I held it a little bit higher, obviously. My eyes are closer to the top third of the video frame. Yeah, so that's better. But again, so I've done like well over 100 of these types of videos now, and the more you do that, the better you'll get at it. So knowing that I was framed a little low in my last video, I'll remember that when I do my next one and just make sure, okay, I want to hold it like this. And maybe I do a 5-second test video holding my camera, and then I'll turn it around, I'll stop it, and I'll watch it back. Okay, yeah, I was framed well, or I wasn't, or whatever, and I'll adjust. So that's usually how I go about that. So I hope that helped. Laura says, very beginner level, why do you prefer Kajabi to Zoom? For the meetings, I don't know if I prefer it. I've never actually run one in Kajabi. I'm going to run my first one on Thursday. The last two call-ins that I had, this new course that I did for people who want to learn how to live stream is relatively new to me. I launched it like a month ago. There was like a pre-launch phase and all that. It is available now. I've got a link to it below, I think, if anybody's interested. You can get in and you can jump on that call with us on Thursday. But anyway, the last ones I did use Zoom. And when I do my one-on-one calls, the coaching calls, I do use Zoom. I've become used to Zoom. I could do it in Kajabi, but I don't. Ask me this question next week. Do I like Zoom or Kajabi better? And I'll let you know. My understanding is in Kajabi, it's pretty much the same as Zoom. So, maybe I don't need Zoom, but most people, for one-on-one coaching, if I were to run it through Kajabi, then I would require, the people who want to get coaching with me would have to sign up for my Kajabi community, and then that's how they would get in. Whereas most people know Zoom. Anybody who wants to have a one-on-one Zoom call with me probably is familiar with Zoom, so that's how I do it. So that's all. It was you, Rob, that said, don't wait for the best camera. 4K on an iPhone 11 is good enough. Since my channel is about travel, I recently upgraded to 4K 60 to make them more snazzy. Awesome. I'm glad that's working out for you. Considering the learning curve with learning how to edit, how often do you suggest posting when first starting, and how long should the video be? If you're just starting editing and you're just practicing how to do that, I would keep them relatively short and get good at making shorter videos. That's what I did. I'm a self-taught editor, just from watching YouTube videos, figuring out how to do certain things. And just start short. Every once in a while, try to maybe do a longer one and then fall back to your shorter ones that you can do quicker, right? That's kind of what I would do. That's what I did do. Oh, you like the window light? Just the window being there. I actually thought this was a basement room. It is a basement room, but it's a walkout basement. We can walk out the back. That's the back. Okay, the ocean is at the back. In the front, this level is buried. Okay, it's a bungalow with a finished basement, and the finished basement has a walkout in the back. That's what this house is. So I guess it's half a basement, I guess. There's no other basement below this. Alrighty. All right, so here's a question. Nafisa, hi Rob. Hi Rob, tripod selfie stick, a stabilizer, or simple selfie stick? Thanks. So I just use a simple selfie stick. I've got it set up as a tripod right now. I just extended that. But this is the one that I take with me outside. There's no gimbal to it. It's going to depend on your phone. Some phones have stabilization built in. Is that level? It's pretty level, yeah. Some phones have stabilization built in. My iPhone has that. This is the 16. Before this one, I had the 14. I upgraded to this last January. The 14 also had it, okay? And I want to say the 14 was the first iPhone model that had stabilization built in. That means it uses software to stabilize things. So like your shaky hand, or like when you're walking on the trail, it doesn't shake as much. That's stabilization. If your phone has that, then you don't need a gimbal, okay? So whatever phone you have, I would look it up and search to see if it has stabilization built in as software. If it does, turn that on. That's probably a setting you can turn on or off. And then do a test video with moving around, walking, whatever, and see what it looks like. Play it back, see how it looks. If you don't have it, then maybe consider getting a gimbal instead of just a selfie stick like what I have. Alrighty. Monkey Wrench, what are the pitfalls of being a YouTube creator? What should we watch out for? A lot of hours, mean comments, not enough money, etc. Yeah, all of that. The pitfalls. I mean, if you quit your job and expect YouTube to be able to kind of fill that void financially, that would be a mistake, probably. It could take a long time to get your YouTube business built up to a point that it replaces your job. You certainly can, and in some cases, it might be able to do it relatively quickly, but in most cases, might be a year or more. In most cases, probably more. Actually, in most cases, people quit, and they never get there. But if you're one that's not going to quit, you're going to stick with it, and you're going to keep trying to get better at making your videos and targeting your audience and providing them with what they want, not necessarily what you want, then you should grow. And then you can wrap a business around your YouTube channel. Anyway, so Yeah, a lot of hours. You could expect to put in a lot of hours. You don't have to. You can make your own hours. It all depends on how much you like doing this. Like, I love it. I love this. I would do it more if I had more hours in the day, right? I wouldn't necessarily, if the days were 28 hours long instead of 24 hours, I wouldn't sleep an extra 4 hours a day. I get enough sleep. I probably get 6 to 7 hours of sleep a night. That's all I need. I can't sleep longer than that. I get up at 5:30 in the morning because I'm awake. Like, why stare at the ceiling? So I come down to my office because that's what I like to do. If it's a nice day, I might go for a walk. I might go for a run. I might go for a sail, whatever. I enjoy doing YouTube, especially if it's a crappy day outside. I'm not upset. Oh, I can't get outside. A horrible day. No, that means I'm in the office. I can do some more work, and I enjoy it. Maybe that sounds sad to some of you, but I get outside plenty. Actually, I have to go for a walk after this. Today will be and nod to Ruth. I don't know if you're here. I haven't seen her here today, but I saw one of her videos where she talked about walking. I'm on a tangent right now. 10,000 steps a day for 30 straight days. Yesterday was my 29th day in a row of doing that, 10,000 steps a day. So today will be 30. So I've got to get out for a walk later today. Anyways, why did I go down there? Hours. So yeah, if I had 4 extra hours a day, I would do more YouTube. I would spend more time working on my website, probably. Right? So that's just what I would do. So you got to you have to enjoy this to be able to do that. Now, I'm not saying you have to want to put all of your extra hours into YouTube in order to be successful at it. That's not the case. Maybe for you, you don't want to do it for any more than 20 hours a week or 10 hours a week even. Whatever works for you, right? But it is one of those things, though, like any business or like most businesses I can think of, the more effort you put in, the better the results you'll get out. Okay? That's generally the case. So, I actually just noticed, Ruth, you're here. Ruth, you were who I thought about. I think it was one of your videos where you mentioned that, and I saw that, and it's like, yes, and I think I was already, 10 days in a row into it. And now I feel like I just can't stop. Like, I can't stop at 30. Just like, why not keep going? Anyways, thank you for that, Ruth. That was very inspiring, and you inspired me to walk more. Walk or run. Like, some of them are runs, but the steps are always there. So anyway, back to your question. A lot of hours, yep. Mean comments, yes. You can expect mean comments for sure. Look at those as a badge of honor. Okay? It's a rite of passage. You're going to get mean comments if you're a YouTuber. It's just going to happen. And it's because, I feel like it's because there's a lot of people out there who would love to be doing what you're doing, what I'm doing, and just got a thumbs down. Sorry, whatever I said, I apologize. But yeah, there's a lot of people who would love to be doing, or perhaps they've been spinning their wheels, they're not getting ahead, and they lash out. And they lash out at people who are doing all right. Okay, who are being successful. So they write them a mean comment. Somehow it makes some people feel better to try to put others down. I don't understand how people like that work. That's just not, it's not the way I am, and I don't get it, but I understand that there are people out there like that it's a jealousy thing. They get jealous, like, I want to do that too, and you're horrible. You need to stop saying and ah so much. It's like that. I got to laugh at that. I get that a lot. In a lot of cases, it's, I think they're, in a way, trying to be helpful, but in some cases they're not. They're just trying to point something out and trying to make me feel like I'm not good enough to be doing this. And they'll usually attack that. Like, you say and ah too much. Like, I couldn't watch the rest of your video. You just say it too much. And my response to that is usually I'll look at the person and it's like, okay, you've got 2 subscribers to your channel and actually you don't have any videos. Like, you're giving me advice? You have no videos. You have not uploaded any videos, and you're telling me how to make videos? I've got 300 videos. I've got people watching my videos. I don't take any comments like that personally. People can lash out at me as much as they want. I'm not even going to give it as much thought as I've been giving it in giving you this answer. I'm only thinking about it now because I'm answering your question. But usually the thought I give to it is, delete. Gone. I've moved on to the next one. Delete. Actually, that's going to be, I wrote that down. I think my next video is going to be not one of the other two I considered for my last video, but it's going to be, how did I word it? Why I deleted your comment. Not you specifically, but that's going to be, I think that's going to be the title, Why I Deleted Your Comment. And that's kind of where I'm starting with it. And I'm going to talk about, why do I delete comments? What comments do I delete? I'll get comments from people that say, I don't know why my comments are disappearing all over the place. Is YouTube making my comments disappear? No, it's not. YouTube doesn't maybe in some small cases if they're breaking rules with their comments, but more often than not, comments are getting deleted by the channel owners where the comments were typed, made, right? You make a comment on my channel, on one of my videos, and if I just don't like the comment, I can delete it. I don't have to have a good reason. I can just delete it. It's not part of the conversation I want going on in my comments. I'll delete it. But a lot of people seem to think it's YouTube. It's YouTube being sneaky and, they don't like what I talk about in my comments, so YouTube is shadow banning me and all this stuff. No. It's the owner of the channel that, you know what? I don't like that comment. I don't like their tone. Delete. That's what. Anyways, sorry. I've gone off on a long tangent. A little bit passionate about this, but don't mistake that for me, for me being affected by these types of comments, because I'm not at all. I know a lot of other people, a lot of people who watch my videos are affected by comments, negative comments, and so I want to make light of them. I want to make not of the people, of the comments. I want to make light of the comments. They don't matter. It's more of a reflection on the commenter than it is on you receiving the comment. It's a problem the commenter has. So, yep, that's a rite of passage. That's all part of it. All right. I'm gonna take a few more. Oh, what was this? Ruth said, someone told me I'd wasted their time, so I apologize for taking them away from their work towards world peace. I love it. It's funny, too. I've noticed, and maybe you guys notice this too, but I've noticed, and I don't do this as much anymore, but many months ago, like a year ago, if I got a kind of a snarky comment and I replied with what I thought was a clever response that kind of showed that it didn't bother me and maybe turned it into a teaching moment for everybody, more often than not, the original commenter will delete their comment when they see that they were kind of in the wrong or they kind of look silly now. They delete their comment and therefore my response gets deleted too. So a couple times, I did that a couple times. I wrote this long, response, and then to see it's gone, it's like, So now sometimes what I'll do, if I feel like I need to respond to a comment, I will, as soon as I respond to it, I will take a screenshot of that, and I've got a folder called Questions to Answer that I will put it in, and I sometimes refer to that folder if I want to make a video where I answer somebody's question or a comment on a comment that I got. So there you go. Another 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to pull the plug on this live. I hope that's okay. Oh, Scott just said, haven't had one in a while, but I pinned their comments, haters' comments. It's a good idea. Anna Hollis just said that too. Some people pin mean comments. Yeah. Karen says, that's why I don't let myself get high on good comments so I don't get low on bad comments. I keep it in the middle. That's a good strategy. Absolutely. You didn't waste anybody's time. If their time was wasted, it was their decision and they are the culprit. Very good. Yeah, I've got to laugh sometimes at people who leave a very long comment that is kind of mean, negative, but it's long. And it's like, so you didn't like my video, but you spent 10 minutes to write a comment on this video? I don't get that. Like, if, you know what? There are plenty of videos out there that I've watched that I don't like. I've never left a negative comment on any of them. Now, some people say, I've heard some people tell me, well, I feel like I'm helping them if I criticize, or if I give them constructive criticism, they'll call it, on their videos. Okay, but I don't know. Like, is it your job to do that? No. It's not my job to, be critical of somebody else's video. I don't look at it that way. It's like, if someone makes a video and they put it up there, then, good on them. It probably wasn't easy. I know how hard it is to make videos. And I'll come right back to, in a lot of cases, the people who are writing negative comments usually don't have videos on their own channel, right? That's just the way, something I've noticed. That's usually the way it goes. All About the Alternatives, as I've mentioned before, I made a video out of a comment telling me they want to help me with my channel. Yeah. Yeah, they should want to help themselves by making videos. Carolyn says, personally, if I don't like it, I move on to something that's interesting. Perfect. Yep. Loam and Iron, I joke around with mean comments. It's too much fun. If they don't feed me, sleep with me, or sign my paycheck, their words mean almost nothing. Good way to look at it. Absolutely. I'm one of the lucky ones. Very few negative comments, some inappropriate comments about my looks or whatever, but not many critical ones. Yep. Just delete them. Just delete them and move on. Another 10 minutes. We're already deep in this time free members after party. Great. There's no after party today. Sorry, I mentioned that earlier, but there is no after party today. That's next week, every 2 weeks. I'm ignoring the mean part, and I'm thankful for their time and effort to comment. At least I had plus 1 year without more comments than one per month. Perfect. Everybody takes issues and comments way too seriously. Most should get a little tougher. It's words, LOL. True, it is words, and that's a good reminder to people. It's just words. Don't let it bother you so much. But the reality is, it does bother some people, and that's why we're even talking about this. It doesn't bother me anymore. It might have the first time I got one. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. If you're not expecting it, then it could bother you, especially like if you, I understand what you're saying, where you're coming from, but if you can put yourself in the shoes of somebody who is struggling to make content and don't like the way they look or sound in video, and they're already feeling very self-conscious about it, and they put a video up there and then they get a negative comment or multiple negative comments on it, I can see how that would affect some people. And that's why I make videos, to try to help those people see and understand that the problem's not with you. The problem is with that commenter. They said something mean. It's on them, right? For some reason that makes them feel good. I don't get that part of it, but don't just understand it's no slight against you. It's all good. So that's why we're even talking about this. Some people don't use their channel where they post videos to comment with. No videos on this channel. Yeah, and I don't get that either. I see a lot of comments like that. People say, oh yeah, I've now got 2,000 subscribers, and then in brackets, not on this channel, this is my commenting channel. I don't understand that. Why? I mean, maybe there's a reason someone would have a separate channel just to comment on, but I don't see the purpose in doing that. I don't have that. I comment with my own channel. But yeah, I've noticed that too. Some people do say that. I once got over 100 horrible comments in TikTok and was depressed for days. That video had 1 million views. So the bigger the views, the more you get trolls. I think my daughter just got home. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, it's a numbers game, right? If you had 1 million views, then actually 100 horrible comments, maybe that's not so bad. I've never had a video with 1 million views, but you know, hopefully those 100 horrible comments meant that you had, 1,000 or thousands of good comments. But yeah, that would be an eye opener for sure. If you're not used to getting that many views and all of a sudden, wow, this many comments that I've got to delete. All right, Laura, please note my question above your ability to do all the jobs alone. I do everything myself. Yeah. Let me just search your name here. What is Creators Cove? Free. Yep. You sign up below. So if you go down, so below any of my videos, well, actually, let me just back up here, live. So this is where you guys are. This is my live stream that we're doing right now. I'm going to pause it or mute it. So down here, click this more button here, right here, Join Creators Cove Free Community, right there. Click that link and you can sign up. This is also where you can download the Kickstart Kit. This is also where you can book a one-on-one Zoom call with me if you're interested in that. And if you're interested in the live streaming course, the next check-in call is in 2 days. You can click that link and learn more about that there. Yeah, until I have my website finished, this is where I keep my links to my landing pages in the description of my videos. All right, so that's the way it goes. So that said, I think I'm going to have to stop it right there. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you for joining. Again, anybody who's interested in the live streaming course, link below. You can sign up for that. You'll get immediate access to the now 11 videos that are in there. I just added 2 more videos to it this week. But there are 9 core videos and a couple of bonus videos, and we get together for 1 hour Q&A once a month. So there's that. What else? What else? Probably other stuff. Next video, I don't know yet. Maybe before the end of the week. If not, probably Monday be the next video. And yeah, that said, I will be live again here next Tuesday. All right, so I hope you have a great day. Make some videos, post them on YouTube. Do it. I know you want to. And have fun, be safe, and I'll see you next time. All right, guys. Bye.